Good morning. My name is Jennifer and welcome back. If you're new here, I am sharing my journey on Mounjaro. It has been this many weeks and today is weigh-in day and I want to go over a few things. So last week I had a plan that I wanted to stick to a few key things that I know have helped me and have been good for me in the past, and I wanted to recommit to those things. So I want to go over how that went. I kind of want to go over some other things that have been happening from this past week, so some new side effects and just kind of review what's been going on this week. So all right, let's get into it. Happy Monday. It is absolutely a indoor workout day. It's been raining a lot, so even if I wanted to bike now when it's not raining, the bugs will, if you know, you know, when you bike after it rains, it's all buggy out and you're probably gonna get some bugs in your mouth and nose and eyes and everywhere. All right, so I just finished with my workout. I think I did pretty good. I didn't feel super energized or anything, but I just kept listening to music and kept going. But I wanted to note real quick, if you also have like larger arms and they bother you when you're working out, do you also seek out tops like this? Like I think it's called an active bolero, and it just goes over the top, and I think it's really good for just not having this bother me as much, so I can just move around and do whatever without worrying about my skin like rubbing against itself. So I just move better, even if it's just me in my room. It's not really about the looks of it. It's more about how it feels. It just lets me do more of an active workout. So anytime I see these in any stores or anything like that, I will pick one up. Sometimes I think I found one recently that was like a sleep bolero, but obviously I'm using it for this. It just feels good, and that's what I found works for me. But listening to music and getting it going. So I'm gonna go make an omelet, I think, with some spinach, and that's gonna be my dinner. It is Wednesday night, and I just wanted to check in real quick because working out today and going into the week knowing that I have a goal and my activity goal is set and my mantra is show up for yourself, it's really working for me. And this is something that I'm doing for myself, and I just have to keep thinking about that, keep thinking about how this is making me feel better, it's improving my health, and that's the goal. That's the ultimate goal, is to feel better and be better. But yeah, starting out the workout was super low energy and I did not want to keep going, and I kept looking at my Fitbit to check how many steps I took, and anytime that happens, it's never a great workout. If I'm just checking to see how many steps I took or anything like that, at some point, maybe 5 minutes in, I maybe even less, I just found a good song. And this is seriously something that helps so much. You just get a really good song and it just put me into the mood, and all of a sudden my energy just shifted. And that's the best part about, you know, if you're working out to songs and you have that good playlist, that helped me so much. I need to add that song. I'm gonna put it here. I hope it's not embarrassing, but I'm gonna put the song here that really just charged me up. And then I ended up doing 30 plus minutes of working out in my room, and I was not even getting past 5 minutes before that. So sometimes you just gotta stick it out, and I'm proud of myself for sticking it out for myself. All right, so we got some new side effects. Of course, they're fun ones, right? But I started to feel constipated this week, and I know I hear people talking about getting constipated on Mounjaro. It is what it is. So I did wait a little while. So when I started Mounjaro, I kind of knew of some symptoms that would come up, and I kind of wanted to prepare myself because I wasn't sure when those things would hit. And I don't know. I like to be prepared, I guess, maybe over prepared sometimes, but in this case, it was fine. I knew someone that was using the Metamucil, and yes, this is a big one, okay? It's a fiber supplement, and if you've never tasted this one's the orange flavor, and I'm not usually a fan of orange. So I did try this week and I really didn't like it. I really struggled drinking it. So I know someone that, likes this, and I'm gonna go with the Publix brand. I'll take a picture, but it's Clear Lax, it's flavorless, and it's compared to active ingredients in Miralax. So I kind of wonder if you've also had constipation from Mounjaro or any medicine that you've had. Has this worked for you? Am I the first one to ask you about your bowel movements today? I feel like I gotta go, but I can't go. Alright, so let's get into the weigh-in for this week. So last week I weighed in at 268.7, and that was a gain of 1.8 last week, and I kind of spoke about why I think that was. This week I weighed in at 264.5, and that would be a loss of 4.2 pounds. So that's freaking awesome. And that would be a total of 36.4 for the whole journey so far. So that's really freaking awesome. Another cool thing about that is I mentioned I was closest to my lowest weight as an adult, just in general, 264.5 now. So 264.8 was my lowest weight as an adult previously when I worked freaking hard for that. But this week I'm so proud because I can say I did really work very hard. I did all the workouts that I could, and I fit in all my activity that I wanted to. I stuck with a diet that I knew would work for me. So in that case, low carb, and really focusing on healthy whole foods and making better choices. You stick with the same kind of foods every single week. I feel kind of boring in that way, where if I shared my groceries and things like that, it would always be the same. But I do kind of want to share some of my foods. So let me know if you think that would be interesting, or if that's something that you would want to see, because even though I think it's boring, I think sometimes when you share what you're having, you may get an idea that you like. If I see something that someone else has, I'm like, oh, I never even thought of that. So maybe I will share a little bit of that in one of the coming weeks. Oh, something that I did pick up from the store was cottage cheese, and I don't remember ever eating cottage cheese really. Maybe when I was a kid. I don't really remember hating it or loving it. I don't really remember at all. So I got like a little pack, but look at the protein on this little tiny amount. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to share that. And I got these really beautiful looking tomatoes. So when I made breakfast this morning, it kind of looked like a little rainbow on the side with my eggs. All right, so here's my breakfast for this morning. I just wanted to share a little bit. I have 3 eggs, spinach, and a slice of cheddar in the eggs. And I have these assorted tomatoes that look so good. I'm so excited for those because you don't really get to see the orange and the yellow, but I saw it in the assorted little pack, and then some grapes. But it looks like a little rainbow with my eggs. So all in all, the plan from last week worked for myself, and I'm going to keep going and keep showing up for myself. I was just wondering, since that seems like such a positive mantra and something that really worked for me, I was kind of wondering if you have a mantra or something that you tell yourself that you are working towards, and it's kind of your constant reminder of what you are doing and why you are where you are and what you're working towards, and kind of a reminder. Do you have a short, sweet kind of thing that you tell yourself, or maybe a picture that you look back on, anything like that? I feel like that's something that could really, really benefit. But I was just wondering if you have something like that. If you do, let me know. I'm curious. Activity doesn't have to be going to the gym or working out super crazy hard. It's going to be whatever it is for you. And even for me, on my days where I don't do as much, maybe I don't have a ton of energy or anything, I will do my weight. Speaking of weights, I recently got 5-pound weights. I have a dumbbell of 10 pounds, and when I recently tried to use those again, they were just too heavy. So I don't know if I got weaker and I had to build up muscle, but either way, I got the 5 pound and I've been working on that. For me, 5 pound weights, I am now more used to them, and I can tell that I can move on to the 10 pound weights now. So it just, so now I'm kind of working in my 10 pound weights with a little bit of this, and I'm kind of going to switch off soon. But it just feels good to see the progress, and your progress may look different than someone else's progress. Speaking about the weights and working out, I've noticed when I do my workout at home, I do in-place running and things like that, and wall push-ups, but mostly with the in-place running, I am noticing feeling less, I don't know if you would call it resistance, but I feel lighter, obviously. So now I'm 36 pounds lighter, and I do feel the difference in my body when I'm running. And I don't know what it is, but I almost want to add some weight to, I don't know, I kind of want to add some weight. So I'm kind of looking into, do you use wrist weights and ankle weights? Do you use those? I'm kind of curious about those. And I see some on Amazon, or I know that Five Below has probably the same stuff. I'm gonna look around and see what I can find, but those look like those would maybe add some weight that I am kind of feeling like I'm missing. Is that weird to, I don't know, it feels like something's missing. Not that I want to gain weight back, but like, do you know what I mean? I think the plan for this week now. So I think it's also cool to set plans for maybe the next week and set yourself up for success in the way that you know what you're going to do. So for me, I want to commit myself to my activity plan, 4 days of an intentional activity, and drinking my water and helping myself with my low carb diet, and I'm gonna try to up my fiber, so that's another thing. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and until next time, bye.